I think the Ahri, we did say it's been nerfed, but it's kind of minor. This is kind of a skill matchup in LeBlanc, right? We've seen this one played out multiple times. I remember Scout playing the Ahri in LeBlanc, really excelled in the matchup, but for me and my Jason to Sion is a matchup where you can just kind of harass and farm up for free in the Jace. Very comfortable.
Here we go, though. There's going to be a 50-50. Leyen is here. They only have 450 on the smites. His Weiwei has to flash away to go straight on top of him as the level 5 is still there. First blood going over to RA. Chris flashes in to get the auto attack onto the Hecarim, who's still going strong, still trying to put down the damage. Not quite able to make it. There's another charm coming in.
But if it's in terms of most valuable players, and I am the most valuable player for this team, I'm going to hold up court.
Here we go. Onslaught of Shadows. They stack the CC, and Fofo goes down 2 kills.
Yeah, the Shy. I remember the Shy. Oh, I'm going to hold court because we might get a fight coming out.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think so. I think they get it and get out.
They should be out, yeah. I saw is the Ahri, and Ahri is a low damage champion, right? She's going for those picks, not for the 100-0.
Oh, Fofo, he gets stunned up, he gets knocked back, and he's going to be flashing away, but not before the tower can take him down. Strife flashes and gets the distort. He's gonna, oh! He outplays! Look at the waves. You have no mid laner coming up because that's been pushed in by Strife, so this should be a 2v1 in this top side. No flash available for Breed as he gets canted on top of. They are going to be able to pop in the Onslaught of Shadows and the Unstoppable Onslaught. They are wasting a couple of summoners here to try and tank this one up, but Leyen may have gone a little bit too far forward. He gets punished, shut down as the 3-in-1 pony. Yuyanja is here to try and keep Cube in a good spot. There is the quickness coming in. They'll get the knock-up, but Breed tries to get them knocked back as Weiwei is just too damn tanky, and the rest of the cavalry is here. It took you too long, RA, to get this damage out. 2 more kills goes over to BLG, and we talked about how
Strife can't get there. He can't burn all his mobility to try and finish him off, and it just ends up such a big mess.
Oh, Breed, though, going 1v1 versus Strife, and Strife gets himself a...
Damage factor lock in place means it's so hard to outplay. And we will see an answer on the top side with this tower taken, but obviously mid-tower's already gone down to RA because they weakened that one earlier. They picked up a second dragon. We talked about how they look to prioritize those. Everything looks to be going in RA's favor. Despite that play, that mistake, they're still up in gold. They're up in dragons. Their comp skill's better. They're super comfortable, and
be able to keep that fight going as long as it physically can. But for BLG, you're now trying to figure out where you want to go with this Rift Herald. And as I said, Strife is trying to see if he can get maybe a solo again. Looking to take on 2 heads on one particular day. There's the Super Mega Death Rocket whiffing by as Leyen's going to say, look, I'm sorry, my lady. Let me take this tower aggro for you. Goes in with the Onslaught of Shadows, but should not be able to find anything. Rift Herald has been dropped in this bot side. Leyen needs to be careful. Again, he's gone with the Divine Sunderer build and no real magic resistance. But I think it's just a matter of time before Fofo eventually gets taken out. They're going to try and donate this one over to the Strife Fund of mid laners, and that eventually goes down, but BLG get 2 towers because of it.
Yeah, a very extended play, and they do eventually get the kill. It's risky, is all I'm going to say on it.
Very risky. There's going to be the first accelerated shock blast. You can see already iBoy down to about 2.
They're not crisp out, and they're able to scare. Yeah, I mean, you're right. They don't have to fight it because they'll just get it for free. The better rotation, as they know there's no TPs for either Cube or Strife here, and they should be able to pick themselves up another tier 2. So he isn't here yet, so
oh, they might look for some though. RA, BLG do get themselves the Hex Flash over the wall as Crypt end up not hitting anything and ends up taking a crap ton of damage. Gets taken down. Here comes the Unstoppable Onslaught and jumping onto Doggo. He has to use his feather to go flying back. They jump straight onto the Xayah, but Weiwei jumps right back on top of Cube. It goes into zombie form. Now RA can really start to ramp up. The Jinx gets excited, and there's only Fofo left to try and defend. One more auto attack should do it, and that's going to be the ace. RA found themselves an opportunity. BLG wiped from the match.
Dauntless, and then the re-engage comes in. They have the tools to move forwards, and once again,
power in this Sion now coming up towards that Bramble Vest, going to try and get that Thorn Mail. Even going to try and just be a nuisance here on top of Weiwei, and Weiwei might be in trouble. No flash, no ultimate, no way out as Strive 5 where you are, and that's where you can make something happen for yourself. I will say, good vision control here from BLG. They have got that ward just by the red buff, so you know that there's not going to be a full engage onto them just yet, as Leyen tries to keep up with Yuyanja, but Yuyanja does take a fair amount of poke there from the Jace, and now iBoy, he can start wailing on this turret, and BLG, they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They're being stretched across the map. They can't cover all lanes.
Yeah, and they're going to lose this in Hip Tower. Now, Yuyanja does get chucked out by the Shock Blast, and with how oh, Engage comes in.
They gotta go for it. They know they have to go for it right now because Yanja can't go in on this fight, but they don't think they have the damage just yet. Chris already down to about a third of his HP as he has to run away. These health bars on Cube and on the side of Layen are just too damn big. RH should be able to reset, get themselves back out onto the map and get this Dragon.
And the problem is, right, is building a flash from Ivory is huge, but Dragon is too soon. You've lost the Ariel, you've lost the Nautilus ult. You know, without those to threaten him, it doesn't really matter too much. And now BLG trying to move in, but being harassed.
Here we go, there's Super Mega Death Rocket. It's going to swing past the foe still, but it's going to be Sion just soaking up the damage. Look at him, just sitting there saying, look, go for it. Try and take me down because you know you cannot. I am the true carry. I am the wall of meat, and I shall not be silenced. RA picking BLG apart, and BLG will be felled. They will be cut down by this massive Sion, this ridiculously huge Hecarim, and there's going to be RA taking game one.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to TP and look for the end. Death timers are long. Only Chris will be up in time. And with the Baron still available for a couple of seconds, he's going to make the push even easier. Now, Chris spawning up. Fofo is an 8, but with the Jinx hammering at the tower, that should just be it.
Game one, we said there's going to be different setups here. BLG and RA taking very different styles in terms of how we thought they wanted to play the game, but they played it just exactly like we thought they would. Missing a pretty decent hard engage. Trundle very similar to the Volibear. Was like, yes, he kind of does have engage. It's very situational and doesn't really give you that same big impact.
But mid behind, that makes it very difficult. Yeah. Oh, he's going for potential bot side play.
We talked about how we wanted to see them maybe focus towards this top side, but no, they're going to go towards the bot. They're trying to bait them all in. There's going to be the dredge line coming out as Doggo in a lot of trouble. Going to flash away, but gets caught up anyway. First blood to iBoy, and it's been a long time since I've said that one.
Or his AD carry, but Strive, you have to be a little bit careful here. Wave's in a bad spot.
Wave's in a very bad spot, and he has to try and put himself behind the minions because he knows there is an ethereal chain coming, but he already knows he is dead. Fofo gets the kill there on the mid lane.
I think it's just gone, so Lion should be able to secure this, and they actually might be looking for a fight here, but the Dragon's already missing, so I don't think it's
yeah,
really
I was going to say, Chris, you need to get the hell out of dodge there. They drop down the traps, they will have the Gravitum as well. They bring back Lian as he gets caught out just a little bit. The fear goes down, they're trying to burn back onto Wei. One more auto attack will kill him off, but he doesn't quite.
But Lian is also in the vicinity.
Yeah, they're going to try and clear off this ward. They will pop down one of their own to try and say, look, we know that something is going on here. Now Fofo roaming down to try and catch out Alain. It's very scrappy, but there comes the ultimate from the Shadow Surge. Jumps straight back onto Chris, who does get the bailout. Can they get the kill? Yes, they can! And he gets himself revived. That is the power of the Renata. You try and go for the dive. She can turn it right back around. iBoy getting excited, but it's a 2-4 in the vicinity. Maybe looking to try and contest. The Trundle is there. There goes the traps. It should be an oh no! That's not what you want to be seeing. There's going to be the hostile takeover. They look to try and make this one work. The fear comes down. There's the W coming out, but Chris finally gets taken out. Wei in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack would have taken him down, but he's not quite done. There's the Shadow Surge.
You see BLG, so they are going to go for the plates in the mid lane, but actually they find a window where with the Trundle, RA not feeling comfortable defending, it absolutely needs to be a situation where they're countering, because not only behind in gold, but also, as you said, the TP advantage to breathe.
Put through like butter here by the chakrams of BLG's Doggo. Chris there as well with Wei. While the Rift Herald is being taken, Wei is tanking up quite a bit. Wei needs to be so careful. That's up taking over just enough, but that's 2 towers for just a Rift Herald. You need to get a kill here, and you need to get 2 towers for this to be worth here from the side of RA, but again, Breach just not going to allow it to happen.
Yeah, and this is kind of, yeah, I mean, I feel like one of the things, if they got this top tower naturally, and then they also got mid lane tier 1, I'd be like, yeah, that's okay, right? It's more gold for BLG, but mid tower is so important.
We'll get this tower in bot side, you would imagine. 2 or 3 more auto attacks should be enough to be able to take it down naturally, and gets himself back on the board. So
when you look at the sort of front to back, where like, you know, we have the Gwen diving forwards, we have the BLG looking to contest this, and Lian has no ult.
He has no ult, but he does have flash. He's going to be forced to use that pretty damn early alongside the heal. There's the Moonlight Vigil trying to burn him down.
So a little bit wasteful, and now they're going to be able to take this this mid lane tier 2. No real contest coming in, and it feels like BLG have done a really...
To the pit, into the river, seeing if they can go for something. Look at Cube and look at Strive. They're trying to see if they can find something. Yuyanja gets hit by the pillar, will not be able to get him back out himself out to safety. Dragon down to half HP. Now BLG go fully forward as Fofo tries to find something here. I don't think RA are going to be able to find anything, as there's the subjugate. Leyen has no health bar and he is taken down. There's the hostile takeover. More of a CC than anything else. Breed gets exhausted as he goes in with the slicing maelstrom. The Moonlight Vigil over the wall is good, but Cube trying to keep himself alive. Oh! Massive move from Strive. He doesn't get the
Doggo!
Doggo is even bigger. Strive almost had the hero play, but Doggo shall not.
Until they do, we'll probably keep seeing that.
We will almost certainly keep seeing that. We are going to see now Yuyanja getting caught up. He's dead. Yeah,
nothing. Just to make 100% sure, right? They know they aren't on it. Absolutely now, and Fofo looking.
Need to get him on the dredge line, but that's a LeBlanc. She's going to be able to distort back Yuyanja. That is just
coming in.
Here we
go.
Looks
like they're committed. They have to try.
They got to try and go for something. They've got iBoy and Leyen up to the top side. It's going to be a bit of a pincer move. They know they're trying to go for it as Fofo's on the back end of this. They get Doggo down, but not quite killed off. That's the AD carry, though, being killed. And the Renata strikes again. The bailout is just so damn powerful. BLG get the reset. BLG get the...
I gotta say, you talked about going in this game. If RA win, they'll feel like, hey, we can handle the Renata. They cannot.
No.
This is getting banned game 3, no matter what happens.
Yeah, this is 100% not. This game does feel like BLG back in control. Feels like BLG got the answers they wanted. The Gale Force aggressive onto Yuyanja. There's the Shadow Surge. They're going back onto Doggo, who has got the W on top of him. But this time around, they turn back onto Crisp. They just are too far behind. This game is done, and we got a series as this series is going to 1-1 in a best of 5 in the playoffs.
Yeah, no way Q could defend this, and it just feels like BLG, they managed to find a successful early game, but critically when it comes to those team fights, when they have the power, and especially with that Renata, they are very comfortable. They got to answer this and take us to an equal series.
Yep, equal to the series there. RA thought they could maybe give up a couple of priority picks, but no, they're going to go slightly safe. Forget the 2 Yordles. I still think Nara's fantastic. It still does what you want it to do, just not as aggressively as a Tryndamere.
I mean, I think something, because we see so many
I was gonna say the thing about Paranoia, as the name of an ability goes, it's pretty on point. Like, it is how the volley bear up on the top side. He's gonna find himself now behind enemy lines. Here he goes. He's gonna flash in, but force the flash away. Wei is gonna be speared, but not before he can get the damage. Crisp comes in to much bigger cooldown than it is on the Mega Gnar, as we see now Strive going in with the Realm Warp, gets himself over the wall, and now Breathe in a little bit of trouble. Cube actually was tanking the tower. Strive trying to see if he can get on front, not quite able to get him. No, and that's not gonna be enough though. Breed tried so hard, but both globals using the top side. Now we might see after the Paranoia has been used. The split, it's focusing on that top side. It's getting Cube into a much more favorable matchup as Strive. He has got Merc Tread, so he should be fine. As I said, they turn off the tower so they can just dive him in the 2v2. They are trading and not just losing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that the Herald is essentially going to upgrade you regardless. A double whammy there.
Yeah, you lose out in the tower. That's going to be about a 1,500 gold lead. You can have like multi-man Renata.
Yeah, and that was fun, but it was regular season, and now we're in playoffs. I'm glad it's gone.
Well, we are going to see now them trying to get on top of Cube.
It has that pressure that it applies. Sure.
Oh, speaking of which, they're going to go jump in. There's no slicing maelstrom here. He flashes over. The fear is already there, and that's going to be a good trade back here now for RA. I like this from Adam. Oh, Moonlight Vigil, but it's a Tam Kench. What's going to happen? He's going to survive.
Well, there's follow-up coming in.
They're going to look for it. Yuyanja's in a little bit of trouble here, and he's almost certainly going to go down. Yep, nothing he can do there.
But as soon as Leyen went for the ult on the bot side, BLG are like, oh, no Nocturnal, easy dive top. They bring their members there, and yes, Ivo's able to survive, get away. They lose the tower.
Very unfortunate timing. Should be able to get it back relatively swiftly, as Iboy now has to get to Devour. He healed as well. Summoner and Ultimate down. Yes, you get that turret in bot side, but you're now not without the Mega. I don't know if you can defend this tower or this dragon. I think you just kind of have to give it up. But it looks like RA are still seeing if someone does overstep. But Fofo hiding in the wings, recognizing that they're going to put a ward down. Yuyanja in a lot of trouble. The Paranoia comes in, and Wei has to get himself out. The Rift Herald will not take the tower down just yet. Doggo with the Moonlight Vigil as Fofo keeps himself safe, and Doggo gets himself a double kill. This is a big moment here for BLG. They gain everything and lose nothing. Cube trying to go forward with the Mega, seeing if he can make something work. Nicely done there by Cube. Salvages something in the play.
Yeah, it's a redemption, but it was still very much RA falling behind in the back of that one. Their tower survives the sliver of HP. With BLG running away, looks like they might move over. Oh, no.
Fofo, nicely done, taking out his old AD carry. Remember, this is about getting yourselves through the playoffs, and BLG, Fofo's feeling confident.
He's looking for more here.
I mean, he could be able to get it. Cube, sadly, was the one who tanked up the chain, which means they have to fully back away.
Yeah, they'll find the cannon, and that's the thing. Breathe was hanging around, so honestly, the fact that iBoy goes down, it does mean they secure the dragon, but I was so scared of them approaching and then Breathe being there with the slicing maelstrom potentially as a major threat. Ultimately, they'll secure that.
Focus now as we come up to past the 20-minute mark.
Well, I think whether you just... I don't get a chance.
No, well, you can go back into it. His Cube is actually going to keep fighting here. He might get Mega, not quite able to get it.
Like the pick from Fofo and the enemy team try to dive into you, that's when the cannon comes in on flank.
Oh, Leyen, he was a little bit too quick on the trigger there for the spell shield, and that's going to be him dying in this particular skirmish. He even blew his flash as well, so not a great start here, or not a great start to this, setup around the dragon. They will lose their John, but now that we're back in towards this dragon pit, we are going to see a little bit of pressure being put down here. TV going to be coming out. That's going to be a massive flank from the cannon. We are going to see Yuyanja use the ultimate there to try and keep him alive. They don't have full vision just yet, but they are putting great work there onto Chris, but he will fall. The Ram Warp has brought everybody back in, and BLG are separated. What looked like could have been a fantastic flank for Breathe sees him use his teleport and his flash just to get away.
Yeah, I mean, it was just messy. Oh, TP.
They're going for him. They're going for him. They know they can catch him out and get rid of this turnaround, but iBoy's been left on his own. Yuyanja has to flash away. They trade back 1-for-1. It's a 2-for-1 overall as Wei now in a little bit of trouble. They'll get the knockup, but it's all between everybody. They won't get it just yet. It's Doggo and Fofo are ripping RA apart. Nowhere for you to go, Cube. You're going to end up falling eventually. As he flashes in, Fofo not quite able to get the chain to land. But what started off so...
Baron, but RA have vision of this.
This is also spreading yourself very thin. As we can see now, Cube is going to find himself against two people. Misses the ultimate completely. And he will be taken by Fofo. And that's another little pick.
Now they feel confident to kick this off. And Cube's TP is a while away with his respawn.
Yeah, 20 seconds, and we're going to see actually no, BLG just want the fight. They're going to pop out the paranoia to try and just dissuade everyone from going onto Yuyanja. There's the quickness coming out. They're going to try and take him down. He's very tanky on this Tam Kench. You've invested a lot, but Fofo finds the backside. Eventually they get the Tam Kench to get the Devourer out, but 2 kills over the Doggo. Baron will get that massive objective, and BLG have themselves a huge amount of momentum going in less than a minute's time before that Dragon Soul spawns.
Yeah.
On a flank, he's already in a position where he can just wreak havoc. They have no idea. Now they do, but they're going to jump straight on top of him. Leyen takes a lot of damage onto him. He's probably going to be able to take down this cannon, though, because he had got the Hex Drinker, and it's a fight on 2 fronts. Leyen's going to keep following forward. The Dustbringer not quite there, though, just yet, as Fofo has finally joined. Delete Yuyanja.
With the Nocturne, but one, this Nocturne's pretty weak. And on top of that, he also missed his second Q, the follow-up. Just didn't quite have enough damage to finish a freeze.
Yeah, they're just so much bigger and badder right now, as we can see Doggo with Wei and Crisp in tow, just pushing into this, basically the nexus of the next few seconds, because he is just going to shred these turrets. These objectives are going to go down. Leyen has the paranoia, but what are you going to do with it? You don't have any damage. You don't have anyone to really follow up. And speaking of damage, you can see iBoy almost goes down. Yuyanja trying to keep his AD carry alive, but Doggo with 2 more kills. They will get the cannon on the backside of this, but they can just end the game.
Yeah, they can just push up, and Cuba's Mega, but he can't even get in range because of Fofo.
Can't get in range. Strive's trying to see if he can do something here. He's trying to go in with Cube by flashing in to flash away. Cube was the last respite, and he shall fall. Leyen trying to see if he can keep Strive alive, but he shall not. And BLG will go up to match point 2-1 over RA in this series.
And with a really convincing performance, Breathe kind of left to dry in that one, but everyone a bit better. And also something like the Zoe means that you can at least match pound for pound. If you do land a Sleepy Trouble Bubble when iBoy and Cube are trying to fire out their poke, that potentially sets up your team to get in position to engage. So many things on the side of RA that's going to make your life difficult. And the thing is, when you're in Tahm Kench's belly, you're... Oh, no.
They catch him and they kill him. That was just... Now Wei saying, look, we might have to try and make something happen here in this bot side. They will try and just get Chris to get a little bit of disengage here, but he will go forward, and iBoy will flash away. I don't think they can go for this, though, because Leanne's coming, and Strive is TP down as well. They're going to jump down onto Wei and Chris. They're going to look to try and turn this one around. Chris flashes away, but he gets hooked right back in as Wei looks to try and trade it with the shield. He'll get a 1-for-1, and honestly, that's all he could do. That is going to equal early Drake here for the side of BLG, or will it, as you do have Leanne coming in here. They're going to try and slow him down before he can get on top of it. He won't get the smite down in time, and now Yuyanja uses his hook. The traps go down, he's forced to flash over the side. They're going to try and just keep away from this one here, but you don't have the early damage to deal with this. And RA, we were just praising you, my dudes. Why are you fighting that?
I mean, they just literally gave them 2 free kills. I don't really have anything else to add to that. There's no reason to go there.
You need to add flavor.
Okay, here's my flavor. Don't do that. That was dumb. There is my flavor.
See, like a bit of spice.
Yeah, it's just like I don't see what they're hoping to achieve. The Dragon's already got. Like I understood, they move forwards to try and contest it. Oh, nah, iBoy's dead.
Yep, iBoy is going to die. No flash. Nowhere to go, and that's going to be Doggo flashing forward. There's the kill going over. Strive is actually going to use the Spirit Rush to try and get in position. This is an opportunity here to take out Doggo as they try and just keep Crisp alive, but they've actually just baited them all in, and that should be 2 kills going over to the side of RA. Nicely done. They'll even donate that one over to Strive, and honestly, that's a good response.
Yeah, I feel like the thing is, we see RA going for these proactive plays where I'm like, this is smart, this is good, this is positive. And then they just die randomly for no reason. And it's like, the game is even because of that. But now BLG set up a play.
They're going to go to the Bolly Bop in. He has got the explosive cast as well. They're going to try and get the flash out of him, and it's easy as you like.
They've been understanding that they have to make things happen. They can't just sit back now. Chris goes for a very aggressive play, and he's just going to get caught out.
Yep, he's going to get caught out. He's going to go see Yuyanja. Trying to run away, but there's the onslaught of shadows. They're going to use the ultimate as well from the iBoy Kaisa, but it's not quite enough to take down Crisp, who gets himself away. iBoy flashes and heals. They land the charm on the Doggo, but this Ari doesn't have a lot of damage, and the resets are coming in. Doggo and Fofo, the carries trying to burn this team down as RA run for their lives. Fofo is still hunting for blood, but he holds himself just a little bit, and that's 2 kills over to BLG.
And that's the thing, this Kaisa's behind, and honestly, I'm just going to say on this items, you're kind of useless compared to the Jinx, just a Kraken Slayer. They didn't have the damage to them,
but not even Stripe. Stripe was actually just playing that entire fight with Merc Treads, but now Chris, he's still very tanky. The Gragas and Fofo will be able to kind of jump in on top of this, and that's going to be Leanne going down. Oh, RA, it's a disaster, but this is the hard reloading composition that we talked about. It doesn't matter if they're ahead or behind, they will fully commit, and now Doggo finds Cube. Cube jumps on top of them to try and disengage, and with that phase rush, should be able to keep him out self to safety, not safe to selfie. But Stripe goes in, gets himself, that's some burst damage going in as Crisp is cursed to fall. And I will collect myself and have some water while you break down what the hell just happened.
I think the whole game is kind of falling apart, and then Strive is just like this shining beacon for RA. It feels like the plays on the bot side that went wrong, Strive is there to clean up. The plays on the top side that went wrong, Strive is there to make them come to fruition. He is really doing his best to stay in playoffs right now, in this series in particular. The rest of his team doing some, having some questionable moments now.
Oh, they're going to go for it, but there's Wei using the ultimate. He's trying to jump on the Cube. The phase rush not quite there just yet. The red buff of Flash W. They are going to try and commit fully onto Breed, though, as Leanne is there. They're going to use the onslaught of shadows. The charm will land. Again, it is Strive trying to just drag RA back in, but even him with this Everfrost build does not have the damage to bring down the Gragas.
It's not quite enough. The Gragas spike going. Yeah, the squishier build still tanky enough to withstand their engage. Flash. And now BLG, they just commit down, and they're going to look for a second tower here. Just should be able to get it quite easily, and Injection just be careful on that one. There will be a trade-off on the other side, but RA, yeah, they're winning across the board here. Actually, I say that. They have to finish the Ludens.
I think, yep, he's dead. Nothing he can do. Oh, he'll flash away, but the Hex Gate means that Wei finds himself all the way over on the side with Leanne. You can see Cube trying to see if he can do something here to help out Yuyanja. They might try and turn this one around. There's going to be the mitigation with the Glacial Shroud. Cube will flash away. They will land the Trouble Bubble as it gets the trap down as Yuyanja tries to just keep himself alive. Flash in, Cube almost being taken down by Wei. They'll get a Q. Good Everfrost here from Stripe to just stop the onslaught of BLG. TP play. I thought they were going to maybe put the Jace up in the backhand aside and maybe look to try and make that one work for themselves, but I'd
be worried for the other side. and they can rely on that poke for the plays.
There they go. They're going to draw on the Everfrost and the Charm, but there's the explosive cast. Breed not quite able to get the belly buff off. His Cube maybe going to try and just jump on top of him. They will get the tower, and they will get him down, and they'll get Fofo as he's just throwing out these Qs. Dragon has been started. Leanne knows it's going on. He knows it's happening. Way down to about half HP. They go in for the fight. It's not been taken. It's been secured by BLG. Yuyanja had to give away his life to try and make this fight work, but you're going up against a Hexol. Fofo has been hit. He has to flash away as the Trouble Bubble is in response. Strive gets deleted from the map, and now iBoy's been jumped on. It's a bit of a tentative fight as Fofo can't go in. There's one more kill going over as Doggo looking to try and get the resets. He will get them as BLG trample RA. Triple kill for Fofo, and the rest of BLG with this soul. Leanne has nowhere to go.
They secure the dragon and they crush the fight. Fofo landing the bubble onto Strike.
Their own jungle as we walk up towards the Baron. They can't walk up to this, and it's as you said, the poke champions, they rely on the vision. They rely on knowing where people are to make something happen, as Leanne is already chunked out. We're going to see Yuyanja as well, having to pay for the sins of a
forward. You're always concerned, is there a sleepy Trouble Bubble? Does dodge away for the poke.
Oh,
Then actually cracks
they got him. That's going to force the Devourer out. They're going to use the Onslaught of Shadows, and that's going to be Breed going down. So you're in a 4v4. Wei trying to use his ultimate to get on top of the carries, but RA are given a respite. Strife, everyone's got to block him. Block this man right now as Zoe goes golden because they would have been taken down by the W. And RA out of nowhere finds an opportunity, and this is where the poke really comes into fruition.
They refuse to give up, and once again, it's Strive. I swear this game, so much of it has come down to him doing his best to make this work. The rookie player moved up from the LDL roster, refusing to give up in this game 40. He's going to come in, can't interrupt that one with a rocket. The ideal scenario is you poke them out enough that they can't join the fight.
Breed's on the flank. Breed's on a flank. He's going to try and make this one work. They think all five are there. Leanne's going to walk straight in top of him, though, and that's going to be death.
Jungler down.
The jungler.
This is melting.
It is melting, but they have found themselves an opportunity to get in here. Strive is walking over a ward. Will not be hit by the Trouble Bubble or the Paddle Star. You need to go for something here. You need to either walk away or do not commit. You need to go in. They're going to walk away. They cannot go for this fight just yet. They know without Leanne, there's just absolutely no way they can take a fight. So we'll say that they are going to land a lot of poke here, a lot of damage on the Breed, and that's one of your damages down. Wei now has to back away from this pig, but a bubble lands on the iBoy. That is huge here. They missed the Mega Death Rocket though on the back end of this, and they're not able to make it. This is so close right now. Look at Key Summoners.
Breed's up in 2.
He got him in 2 seconds. You will have the TP. Breed's going to come in immediately. There's the Onslaught of Shadows as Crisp goes down. It's now back to a 4v5. They will not land onto iBoy as the Everfrost is good. Wei though is in a lot of trouble, but he has the smite to keep him alive, and it was valiant from RA. It was almost what they needed, but they all get taken out one by one. Cube and his jungler, the only ones left alive, and that's going to be BLG looking to try and, honestly, they can end the game. They don't even need Elder.
Yeah, they have Baron buff. They have 4 members up. It's only Cube and Leanne to defend. I don't think they have the damage the other way, but 10 seconds to Yanja and iBoy shortly after. There's a hope that they respawn in time to defend. BLG are risking a lot by trying for this.
Here we go. We got a couple more minutes left on the Baron buff. They're going to go for the next turret, number 1. They're going to get it down.
You have to fight!
They have to fight. You have to go for this. This is your season right now. They're trying to wait for iBoy. They will pop down the dredge line and to kind of get this one
Doggo's
alive.
ending!
But look at Doggo. Doggo's going for it, and Doggo gets the end. BLG 3-1.
Try and hold on at the end of that series. They do their best in the final game, but it's not enough. BLG with a convincing lead, and they just played around those objectives better, blocking the poke and then allowing Fofo to layer his. And it felt like we saw, I'm sure we're going to see the damage graphs, and there'll be a ton of damage from iBoy in that one. But it wasn't meaningful. Yeah. It didn't connect on the right targets, and the goal deficit was too significant. They just opted into these early fights when they didn't have power.
Yeah, and again, it just, what was an identity for RA really hurt them in this particular game. You just had to wait. You just had to calm down. Because even if they're on soul point and you are, 2,000 gold less behind, you know what I mean? You haven't given off all those kills. You probably get 1 or 2 extra kills. You may be able to kind of, force them away from that soul point as quickly. And again, it's if, buts, and maybes, and, you know, it's all just how it kind of all goes down. But congratulations to BLG.
Yep.
They got the bit between their teeth. They took that one loss in game 1 personally, and they said, not again. And they just forced so many pivotal bans from the side of RA, and they made it work.
Yeah, and I feel like the fact that we saw Fofo, you know, on the LeBlanc, spectacular. First off, it still held up really well on the Zoe. So good. We saw Weiwei a lot more proactive than we've seen him traditionally throughout the split. I think that's a big criticism, that he's been not impacting his lanes enough, but he got the volley bear and was like, no, I'm going to make things happen. If I am passive against RA, we'll be punished. So I think this is a better BLG than we've seen for a lot of the season.
Yeah.
And sure, opponents are going to get harder as playoffs go on, but this was a convincing first series.
It was, and it's exactly what they needed to do. Again, 8th versus 9th is your closest competitor in terms of people below you, but you made a very distinguished, you know, definition between you and them, and that's a great way to start your playoff run. And like we said, the playoff run is a run in itself. You need to win. If you're starting from the bottom bit, you need to do round 1, round 2, round 3, and then if you win those 3 best of 5s, then in round 4 you get yourself an extra life. So you got to earn it. But I feel like BLG are definitely taking the right steps forward here.
100%. And I think that's the thing, is that game 1, I came into that and I was like, oh, they're sort of going for a more aggressive early game style. Then they didn't play like it. I was like, okay, this could be just doomed. But it feels like the reason for that game 1 draft was they were trying to have more impact, more agency, particularly from Weiwei. I think did a much better job in setting up plays for his team. There was more coordination. Although we didn't see it in that game 1, they weren't able to pull it out. As the series went on, we saw it's like a convincing aspect of gameplay they're leaning into.
Yep.
And, you know, I feel like as well for RA, as much as I question a lot of decisions, right, there was definitely some things I'm like, what are you doing?
Some question mark spams.
Strive,
right there, like.
considering Strive is a rookie, spectacular gameplay
Honestly.
so far. Really doing his best to keep his team in it. And it's as we expect. You look at the damage graphs, right? Cube, 27k highest in the game. iBoy, second highest. Yes, they did damage. But that's why with BLG, when they had these tanky members who were so strong, just able to soak it, you couldn't hit Doggo, you couldn't hit Fofo, it couldn't stick.
It just it couldn't stick, and it didn't matter unless it landed on the
some glue.
It did. You needed glue to be able to make that stuff stick. But again, Doggo on this Jinx, Fofo. I feel like Doggo was just left relatively untouched. We saw Devourers multiple times being used onto Breathe and Weiwei because they were the ones that were soaking up all that damage, but because they had used so much, the charms, the Everfrost, the W's constantly going in, it meant when Doggo finally got into the fight, when Fofo finally got there, it was too little too late, and it just meant that you just hadn't got enough in your tanks to try and take them out. But again, congratulations to BLG, and commiserations to RA. I think, again, considering where this team has started this season, very young roster, in my opinion, excluding basically iBoy, this is a promising thing. And again, Strive, I think, had a great debut split.
Yeah, I really think Strive's been fantastic, and I feel like, there's so many stacked mid laners in the LPL being real. Rookie, nice, Xiaohu, but it's so great to see this amazing talent. The fact that he, was playing in the LDL, got moved up, and then really has delivered. And even in this game, you're down 2-1, right? This is often a situation where you can see rookies sometimes falter when you're in a big playoff series, your back's against the wall. And especially, you may still play well, but you feel uncomfortable about going aggressive. He was just confident to set up plays. He was the one going, I'm going to go to the side lane, initiate, find something. And even with the loss, I got to say, he really did so much for RA.
He wanted to be the glue. He wanted to be the glue that keeps it all together. But and again, great for him. But obviously, we got to keep. It finally feels like BLG are coming together. It finally feels this is a team that recognizes their strength. And it's where we thought it would be right at the start of the season. They never really did it. It's mid-jungle. The mid-jungle, Fofo and Weiwei, just having that combination, getting them two very good combinations in terms of the champions. It just worked. The volley bear is a perfect pick for Weiwei. And I feel like it is going to have to be pick or banned pretty much exclusively. I know the pick is generally quite powerful.
I feel like it's generally going to be hotly contested.
Quite powerful, but and my point is more that it's good to see it coming out and using that power, because you can see strong picks and not have the same impact.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I feel like, when BLG were playing their not too much impactful early game style, I feel like Volleybad is not really on theme for that, but they're making it work. And I think as well, it has to be said, Crisp, really strong performance. I think he looked a lot better than Yuanja over the course of the series. The Renata game, single-handedly, just managing to pull them over the line. But then
that's going to tell every single team that BLG going. It's like, ban Renata.
Yeah, it's like for people who have faced them in the future round, are like, cool. Thanks, RA. You saved us from taking that opportunity. But yeah, I think the fact he was forcing that ban as well took a lot of weight off the other members. Into the draft phase, and then just a really solid performance as well on things like the Tom Kench, often being able to save teammates at critical times. I just think overall, the Ricard as well, I think he had a fantastic game on that. So I think those three are probably the big three for me, would be Fofo, Weiwei, and Crisp.
It just get harder, though, as the games go on. Again, this is your kind of quote-unquote easiest or least difficult, at least, matchup you have to go to. And it was competitive. Again, RA did put a good fight up to it, and I think there's a lot of positives for RA now as they go into their slightly more extended break into the summer, before the summer split. But for BLG, they've got some stuff to look forward to. I actually can't remember what side of the bracket they're on. I think they go up against Weibo next, I believe.
I believe so.
I believe it is Weibo. I could be wrong with that. I'm sure we'll have a graphic and everything like that very, very shortly, of course. Everything needs to be changed last minute once the result comes in, so we do end up trying to get that as quickly as possible. But moving forward now, we're going to have a little bit of a preview of kind of like what we're looking into in terms of tomorrow, and think about how we want to see this one go. Because this is a rematch. Tomorrow we got EDG versus FBX, a rematch of the Summer 2021 Finals.
Do you think... Because they're on the bottom half of the bracket. I think Weibo's on the bottom half of the bracket.
Is it Weibo bottom? Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe it's odd and even. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm pulling away from the conversation.
We'll get it.
EDG FPX. So I think FPX, my opinion, we'll hear loads about it tomorrow, I'm sure. But I think FPX have looked a lot better with Care in the roster.
Yep.
I think they've looked really strong when playing around bot, around LWX. I think Hung has also been exceptional. But I think Care has been similar to like Strive's position, where he's kind of like trying to facilitate those plays for the team. Care has been that big addition to the roster, where Gory was a lot more passive in the laning phase and struggled. I mean, I say passive, he just really struggled in the laning phase and didn't provide for the team. EDG, they've looked really hit or miss, but it is EDG. That's all I can say.
Still the world champions. We'll look forward to that one there tomorrow. That should be an absolute cracker. But we got some cleaning up, some housekeeping to do before we end the broadcast. We got our MVP from Game 4. It is Fofo on the Zoe. Great to see him kind of doing so well on this, and great to show that they have the diversity in the picks to make things work, and the bubbles were on point.
Yeah, and I like the fact we saw this instead of the Azir, because I think the Azir would have made it actually kind of difficult for them.
Very hard.
If they did fall behind, or even if they were even. The Zoe, though, allowed them contest when these poke angles, I mean, when they had it with her head, they had control of the area, they could keep providing the Sleepy Trouble bubble threat, and it just meant that RA weren't sort of in that one-sided position where they had the poke advantage. But, you know, this play, good Sleepy Trouble bubble, but I'm still a little bit confused as to RA's game plan there.
But what if we contested for Dragon? No, they've already taken it, but what if we still contest for Dragon? That's kind of the vibe I got from this one. This was the last real chance I feel that BLG had to make this one work for them if they were able to get the steal here. And you can see how low the health bars are, not BLG, excuse me, RA. You can see how low the health bars of BLG go. One or two more W's, a charm goes and hits the primary carry. It can go their way, but BLG, they kept themselves confident, they kept themselves in a good position, and just being able to put themselves into these, you know, opportunities where the poke doesn't matter because you are in 5v5.
Yeah, you have your front line soaking, and Fofo, it just feels like, you know, he's been doing some really good math because he's finding all the angles consistently.
Honestly, he's been doing some serious Pythagoras theorems right there.
Yeah, 100%.
Knew all the...
But like that one at the end where like we get the engage by Breathe, the flash belly bop, and then he gets the Sleepy Trouble bubble before the ult comes in. Just felt very consistent, and that's the thing with Zoe. She's sort of champion. If you're consistently landing the bubbles, she feels so impactful.
Oh god, when she's hitting the bubbles and getting that, like, you know, first item, second item, and all of a sudden you're just getting one shot in as an AD carry, or even as a jungler or anything, it just feels unfair. I gotta ask you a real question though. How far can this Weibo, or excuse me, not Weibo, Bilibili? How far can this Bilibili lineup go? In your honest opinion, what's the perfect scenario where you think they can go?
I don't know. I think it's a hard question because going into today, like, individually the players are strong.
Yes.
I felt like in terms of how they were playing, I wasn't really convinced. This was a good day, but I still need